Hello everyone, Fenris here, and today we have a surprise for you, to be honest, because in the moment of releasing this video, the moment you are watching it for the first time, of course I hope, the SFO GRIMHAMMER 3 The Art of War update is up. So one day earlier, it's Thursday if you're watching it on the release, not Friday, and the update is up with full rebalance of battles, sieges, working in campaign, etc. So yeah, after 2 months of work, tons of work, really, feedback, checking stuff, fixing bugs, etc, etc, the update is up for all of you. It does not mean, of course, that the update is like perfect, everything is balanced, etc. No, but don't worry, there are no major bugs, there are not any issues that should hinder your gameplay, and what is even more important, you can enable and disable this update when you want. This mod, SFO GRIMHAMMER 3 The Art of War update, can be enabled and disabled when you want. It's fully save compatible with your ongoing saves. Yeah. As I said previously. Tons of work, again saying, in massive amount of work. I'm really appreciate for everyone that helped. And in this video I will be talking about a roadmap that we released some time ago, and showing you some stuff from the changelog, the stuff that we wanted to incorporate as a philosophy for some factions. Yeah, it's funny that I'm watching on the camera right now and I don't have glasses, because my wife said that I should take off glasses because it's looking way better because of the lighting, but I don't know if it's good. You will need to tell it by yourself. It's like, I hope she didn't hear that, because she would be mean to me. Okay, let's hop in. Let's talk about the roadmap first, and then about the changelog and other stuff. So this is our roadmap for SFO GRIMHAMMER 3. I think this graphic is quite amazing, made by HN, our main graphic guy, and you can see a bit different thing on the graphic right now, because the Art of War update, everything is checked right now. So yeah, it means that all of this is now published and you can check it, you can play it, and I hope have fun. Yeah, I took glasses again because I don't see anything on the screen. Okay, so let's go to the other parts of the roadmap, and I will tell you how the things are right now. So pre-campaign will be around July, and it means that we'll be working on economy stuff, buildings effects, technologies effects, submods menu, the thing that I showed in the previous video, so we will be able to enable easy mode, hard mode, unit capacity system, etc. And all SFO units and characters will be ported again, because right now those are not working, because we are not able to find a way right now, easy way to import the textures and custom models from Warhammer 2. It's quite problematic, to be honest, and we probably will need to redone most of those to be working again. And this means that those are for SFO 2 factions, so Empire, Dark Elves, High Elves, Lizardmen, Skaven, etc. No Warhammer 3 faction units just yet. Name of the update probably will be changed. What is also very important, nothing on this roadmap is set in stone. It means that this roadmap with every major update will be changing a bit. So for example, when the new update will be released around July, you will have a different name here and maybe some different major stuff, so you will be able to know what's being added and not. Then we have a late summer update, the full campaign one, and to be honest, the late summer is like a prediction, because at the moment of the recording this video and making the roadmap, we did not have the update date for Immortal Empire, so the feature that we are awaiting. And I estimate, of course it's only estimation, that will be released around late summer or something like that. And full campaign with all the features from Warhammer 2, I think, will take a month or two after Immortal Empire's release. So that's my prediction for the late summer, the full campaign. Then, and with this update, probably we'll be adding new technologies and new events to Warhammer 3 faction, but again, this is not set in stone. Then we have a to be revealed autumn. It's a secret thing, okay? And so I don't want to spoil it, but it's being worked on already. With some new features that I hope you'll be liking. And winter, again, not gonna spoil it, but only thing that I can tell about it from here is RPG character skill system. Some of you were asking about it after the reveal, and together with Drunk Flamingo and Western Sammy, we are working right now on a massive rework, like an insanely massive rework for all the characters' skills in game. And like I won't be spoiling it, but we really want to rejuvenate, give a new life to the skill system that I think had some flaws, and it's not giving you much of a choices in terms of making heroes, lords, and your characters overall in Total War Warhammer 3, and we want to make this system anew, doing it again from ground up, and just, I hope, making it a bit better. So yeah, that will be all for the roadmap. Well, that's the purpose of the roadmap, so it does not need a lot of explanation. I hope you like the graphic, and as I was saying, the graphic will be being updated from time to time with the major updates, and you will be always able to find this roadmap on mod page. SFO GRIMHAMMER 3 version 0.25, the Art of War update. Why 0.25? And you will say like this is not finished, etc. So the naming is quite simple, because it's 0.25 of what SFO GRIMHAMMER 2 had, at least in my opinion. So we will be slowly adding stuff, but overall, battles are a very big milestone, because most stuff is based on battles, and also battles is the thing that you cannot just start adjusting one faction and leave it, or abilities. You need to check everything. It means checking almost 2,000 abilities, over almost 2,000 units, because all the records, because we also rebalance the older faction units. It's insane amount of work, and I will be showing how more or less it's looking on the end of the video. General changes, we have a lot of UI changes. I really like the fact that we'll be able to fix the abilities cards a little bit, at least. We have the golden frames for the legendary lords, we have different frames from attributes, so when you're looking on a unit card, you will see what is attribute and what is ability ASAP, especially if you're not if you are newcomer to the franchise, so you will be, some people have problems with it, what is ability and what is attribute. Now they have different frames. A lot of stuff like knockback resistance increases, charge reflection, experience gains, so a lot of small stuff here and there. How the summons are working, auto resolve buffs for the player, so you don't need to manually fight every battle in campaign, because I think that this thing is quite ridiculous in terms of how it is working. We have also the siege changes, not big for now, but we have some plans for the future. All the towers are more expensive, they are stronger, but they are way more expensive. Same with the barricades, so it's more about less building, but when you build it, it's more impactful. And also the building of towers is way longer during the battle, so it's not going to be a tower defense made by AI again. In the future, we want to make that each barricade monuments have different effects for different faction. Also, we are working right now on replacing one of the 4 towers that you can build with an sort of artifact. So, example, you're playing as Empire, and you will be able to build a Sigma statue, and only pre-battle, not during the battle. And this Sigma statue will be buffing your units in a big AoE around it, in similar with different factions. About the abilities, tons of changes. The things that I said, we overall changed the mechanic that Warhammer 3 added, that every ability had a chance from 50% to 100% to have different damage value. So there was like a bracket, you know. Ability damage was 100 in the tables, let's say, but the game was calculating it every second to be lowered by 50% or 20. Sorry, I have to explain it again. So that every tick of the ability, tick means second, ability would have a chance to get lower damage to maximum 50% nerf, and we removed that totally. So sadly, on the ability card, this value is not shown properly still. This is the thing that is a big problem in the game right now, because it's showing 50% and 100% stretch. It's not true. Always look on the maximum value, and the maximum value is also calculated based on all the units. So we changed the name. It's total damage per second. It's not damage per second, it's total damage per second when every entity is affected. So if you have an ability that affects, let's say, 25 entities like Flock of Doom, when you cast it on a single entity, it means that damage will be way lower than you see on the unit card. A lot of bullet points for abilities, units, all of this was updated. The thing that I'm really proud of, we made that projectile splash values are not now shown on the unit cards. So you see that if your cannon is doing 5 meters explosion or 2, etc., I think it's a fitting thing that you will be able to help yourself with knowing where to use a specific unit. And also survival battles. There was a change with survival battles. We made that survival battles abilities are way stronger, but also way more expensive. So again, less clicking, more impactful upgrades, and this is also to make those survival battles a little bit faster, so you're buffing your units way more. Spells, it changes from SFO 2, so all the normal abilities, spells also have a miscast chance, but also are way stronger. And when miscast chance happens, there is a debuff on the caster for 30 seconds. It increases his miscast, lowers leadership, things like that. I'm not going to go with all the lore changes for spells because those are nicely written here. Let's go with the factions and the main changes for the factions. The Grand Cafe. More or less, I think it's one of the best rosters we have in the game. The biggest change with Grand Cafe, I would say, that is we made that the Peasants, Jade Warriors and Dragon Guard are like more tiered units and with different entity sizes. So Peasants are 140, Jade Warriors are 120 and Dragon Guard are 80. So, and each of them with a more distinct roles. Also the Dragon-Blooded Lords, Yin and Yang, are more different right now with more distinct abilities and also their statistics. Whew. Nothing much to say. I would tell. Only one thing I can add. War Compass. Its harmony amplifier was changed to plus 50% from plus 20 because how it's called, there is a Astromancer hero that also have this mount, so this unit was useless totally. Right now its unit amplifier is higher and its spells were changed to bound spells with half Winds of Magic cost but double cooldown, so again a different role. With Korn, not much change. Nathan from the Great Book of Grudges showed that very properly. We added only the new ability to the chariots. Really not much to talk about here. Korn is fantastic faction. Nothing besides small adjustments here and there and changing the chaos spawn to single entity that explode, buffing your units around. So that's it. Slaanesh on the other side was very problematic because this faction is, both in lore, tabletop, is very squishy, and it does not translate well to the game, I think. So we focused on adding new ways of debuffing your enemies. with Razor Blades abilities for the Chariot, Pleasure, for the Monites, changing roles of some of the units, so all 3 Marauder units have different distinct roles right now, same with Seekers, Hellflayers, things like that, and also making the spawns like a Beast Unseen with Stalk abilities. Yeah, that would be all for the Slaanesh. The biggest problem I think with Slaanesh is that it's the roster for the faction. I think the roster is the worst right now because it's like a 3 types of the same unit with just variants. Nurgle on the other side, we made quite a big change with Nurgle because the Cloud of Flies ability that was giving +9, I think, melee defense in melee combat. We changed it so it's always regenerating right now. Half of not always regenerate half of Nurgle units, increases their missile resistance, but also give negative fire resistance when out of combat. So this moment that your slow army of Nurgle is marching against the enemy, they are more resilient and with missile resist and regeneration. Because the removal of melee defense in combat, health of all Nurgle units was increased by a lot, like really a lot. Other changes, more contact effects, again, because we have more contact effects in SFO, we want a synergy between them. We have Lethal Poison, we have Toxic Venom, we have Poison, and we have the Plague of Nurg, and a new ability for Rot Flies that called Buzz, and it lowers leadership speed and removes encourages. So again, similar to Slaanesh, not about the sheer power, sheer damage, more like a very healthy unit with a lot of debuffs. We have new abilities for the Unclean Ones and Kugath, the Plague Father. Tzeentch is I think one of the most interesting factions because of the barrier mechanic, and we were not changing much besides making the Lords of Change units more useful because they are quite useless right now in vanilla, giving more ways to obtain magic with magic bond abilities that SFO had, changed the let me think for a moment. My god, I totally forgot right now. Chaos Spawn. Yeah, Chaos Spawn have more entities, so they are working more like a frontline. The Forsaken one also changed because they are not dying as long as they are above 50% leadership. Pink Horrors, Blue Horrors. Usual stuff, I would say. They were changed to be shooting way faster, but also having a way to regenerate their mana when above 50 winds of magic. So small changes, I think, but fitting for the faction that they are very high range damage, but also very squishy. And also, of course, fantastic new models for the Warriors of Tzeentch by Xenon. Kislev is a faction that I think will need a lot of adjustment in future because I hate how Kislev looks, let's call it. But overall, I would not say that we have tons of changes in terms of Kislev, how they are working. The biggest changes goes to the Griffon Legions and Winged Lances because they are proper charge cavalry right now based on Polish Husaria. Snow Leopard is way better as a unit. Armored Corsairs unit were increased number of entities to 100 from 90, more distinct roles. Again, the thing that we are doing usually. Zargard also have a role right now because they were useless in vanilla. The armored Corsairs were better in every way. Yeah, all the main changes you can read in the changelog. Demons of Chaos. The biggest changes goes to the abilities. Almost all abilities that Demon Prince are able to get in campaign were changed with some explosion, stalk attributes, drain enemy vigor is a new effect, etc, etc. It also means buffs for Be'lakor because shit in vanilla, but we all know that. Last faction is Ogre Kingdom. I know people are saying that I neglect ogres, but it's a memeing. Let's face it. I still hate the faction, but we change a lot of things in terms of how ogres are working in campaign. First of all, the biggest change, we increase the number of entities for most ogre units, and this is a nerf and not a nerf in a way. Why it's a nerf? Because more entities means it's easier to kill a single entity of them, but it also means that there are more damage and easier against numerous units like Skaven, etc. Overall, we made ogres more resilient, but also dealing a proper damage values. And ogre's roster is similar to Cafe, very good roster, and we just made that each tier of units have distinct roles. So ogre bulls, lead barchers, gorges, etc., crushers. If you have, let's say, 3 ogre bulls units, each of them have different role and a bit of a mechanic that will be working on your field of battle. Yeah. So that would be all for this video, to be honest, and right now, as I was saying, you can enjoy SFO GRIMHAMMER Read Out of War 1 day earlier, fully compatible in campaign, all the battle changes. Remember, we are also a small team, so there can be some problems, some balance issues. You can always report them on the Steam page, and we'll be fixing those stuff ASAP with the safe compatible updates. Whew. That would be all really. That was quite insane road, really. 2 months of really hard working. In the coming days, I will be publishing a video when I will be showing you how the balancing of SFO GRIMHAMMER 3 units looks like, and why it took so much time, how much work it required to check every table, enable it in the game again, etc, etc. So yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you really like the new update and you will enjoy it. Remember that if you like those videos, you like the content, you can always subscribe and hit that notification button, like the video, and donate to SFO, Patreon, or via PayPal. All the support is helping to make this fully free mod for you. And yeah, that was Vendris, and I'm out.